A serious problem at Tulsa County's newly constructed juvenile detention center is getting the attention of area leaders. The county built the Family Center for Juvenile Justice last year for kids, but the county says because of federal mandates, more dangerous youthful offenders are housed there too, and they're causing thousands of dollars in damage. 2 News Oklahoma's Caitlin Rivas toured the center with the leaders who talked about possible solutions.
Ever since a federal mandate required the state to place youthful offenders in detention centers instead of county jails, leaders say the center has had nothing but trouble. Millions of dollars went into building the Tulsa County Family Center for Juvenile Justice, and now leaders say thousands more is being spent to repair damages caused by youthful offenders.
We're looking at broken windows, beds being pulled up. We went away from the traditional cinder block beds. We used plastic bolt down beds. They were able to get those up. Substrates being pulled off the wall. Damaging the sprinkler system, setting them off. It cost us a lot of money this past 5 months.
The director of the center says youthful offenders are generally more violent than those considered juvenile offenders.
Youthful offenders are more aggressive, they have more serious charges, and more methodical in how they do crime. And mixing that with our population has kind of detoured us from what we traditionally do, which is more of a therapeutic approach.
Taylor says housing them together is no longer safe, with more than 20 instances of resident-on-resident violence and resident-on-staff violence. He says he can see 2 solutions.
The short-term option which is to harden the facility that we already have. And you guys kind of seen some of that on the tour, but that's not a long-term solution. A long-term solution is to build another unit. That would be the best solution. Build another unit that's built to the standard of something like the county jail. But we would also implement the programming that I mentioned earlier that would accommodate those needs for the youthful offenders.
Taylor says building a new unit would cost around $5 million, but he says something has to be done for the safety of the residents and the staff. He says he hopes the state sees the need to separate these juveniles from these youthful offenders so they can continue the rehabilitation efforts for these kids. In Tulsa, Caitlin Rivas, 2 News, Oklahoma.